Hello, 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 ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of the Evil Live. With your host, the Evil Tyrone, aka Tyrone Williams. I've got a very, 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 very special guest in the building. It's been a long time coming. Before they had to roll through and show some love and get some love shown to them. We got LT, aka Queer Demon, in the building. How you feeling tonight, LT?
Hello, hi. I'm doing very well. Thank you for having me on.
Yes, yes. Listen, it's an honor. It's a pleasure. It's all the good things, all the good things. LT is a horror, content creator among other things. I'm just glad that we got to connect and just share our love for horror. And I'm excited to get to scratch your brain a little bit in that element. So how are you excited? Are you nervous? How you feeling tonight?
Definitely excited. Excited more than like any other emotion in my brain right now is just currently like firing on all pistons. Just because
Yes.
like any opportunity to talk about horror is like an immediate like win for me. Any opportunity for that is just like let's do it.
Yes, yes, yes. And it's just fun also mingling with the community and because we didn't have this back in the day. We didn't have this these many people. I just feel like I can go every day with talking to someone about horror and I never had that, in my life back in the day, so it's dope to have that now. We got Cray Dre in the building. Thanks for stopping by, Cray Dre. One
What's
of one of
up?
the one of my favorites out there. Another horror content creator, also movie reviewer, Cray Dre. But we're gonna start off the interview with with the number one question. And the number one question would be, what is your horror origin story? How did you get into the genre?
Ooh, I love this question. So
Thank
let me like set the scene.
you. Okay.
So I'm like, imagine I'm 5 years old, or I don't know, don't. But like, I'm 5 years old and I am like sneaking behind the couch watching a movie I shouldn't. And I'm like literally like peering over, like literally just my nose and fingers. And I'm seeing this movie on screen. And I just personally, I had no idea what was going on. There were lots of scary things happening. There was lots of like ghosty things. In all honesty, I was just like, whoa, this is kind of cool. I don't know what this is. Only to find out like years later, it was actually The Haunting with Liam
Ooh.
Neeson. So, like, that was the very first horror movie I ever saw. And from there, I was just kind of obsessed with things that go bump in the night and just, typical monsters that do more than just say boo.
Yes.
Um, but that was really kind of like where it started. And then I went through like this weird like valley where I just didn't watch horror like at all.
Gotcha.
From when I was like I think like 12 to like 16 because I was obsessed with like other things like books. Um, and when I was 16, that was the year The Strangers came out in theaters. And that movie, I don't know what it was, but I've only seen it like twice. I'm so traumatized by that experience, but like in such a good way. But um, but that was really kind of like where it skyrocketed. Like after that, I was like, oh my God, I want to see a horror movie every day if I can. Or like from that moment, that was really like where I was just thinking that horror can be more than just a terrifying experience at the cinema. Like there's a
Yes.
story there. There's bones and foundations of like all of these like great horror epics that are just more than just like spooky things, in the night.
Yes. No, I totally agree. I totally agree. It's diverse. It's a lot of diversity out there, and that you can delve into at any moment, any moment. We got a Cray Dre, thanks for the love, Cray Dre. We got a Jaleesa in the building.
Oh
What
my
up?
gosh, Jaleesa,
Yes. The queen in the building,
the queen.
We got T's Horror in the City in the building. What's going on? Dre says, "Oh wow!" In 1990, yes, 1999.
Yeah,
That was a year.
I'm I'm ancient in the queer community. Yeah,
Oh,
in the queer
okay,
community, I
gotcha.
should be using a walker.
Yeah, I was like, if you ancient, then I'm dust. You know,
Right.
I'm a walking skeleton. You know. Um, we got Jaleesa. She says, "Love the hair, digging
Thank
the hair."
you.
You know. And Cray Dre says, "Oh yes, I'm mad I couldn't see it in theaters. Yeah, it's definitely a thing. You know, it was definitely a thing. You know."
Yeah.
And then Cray Dre says, how old are you? You know,
Um,
if you don't mind, you know, Dub, you can give
well,
a
usually this question comes like after a couple drinks, but I will
okay,
gladly say I am 31.
okay,
Um,
okay,
still working on the thriving, but you know, we're 30, so we're
yes.
there.
Listen,
It was a big milestone.
yes, it was. How does it feel? Because to me, when I crossed it, it didn't. I feel,
There's,
I guess I feel quote unquote younger in my
yeah.
30s than I did in my 20s. I just feel like my body is like, you know, it reminds me that okay, we're about to cross over into your 40s, not too long from now. So be careful what you're doing, young man.
No,
Be careful
honestly,
what you're
yeah. My poor knees for sure. No, but like when I turned 30, I was just like, okay, this is like any other day. But
doing. Yeah.
now I can just outwardly complain that I have back pain, and they're like, I get you.
Yes, yeah. So how does it feel like, because I guess like we grew up, you know, especially people in the
Mhm.
30s club, and we've seen like the decades that we've seen, you know, like the
Right.
2000s and then the 90s, and you know, a little some of us a little tinge of the 80s, you know. But how does it feel to, you know, recommend like to the youngins, you know, some entry level horror and stuff like that? Or do you recommend to the youngins? Like, do you have nieces or nephews or, you know, younger people in your life that you recommend things to?
For sure. If I was to introduce my niece or nephew to anything, obviously, like it would have to be something better than what their mother would show them. No, no sense, no shame. Um, but like, it's just like for me, it would probably have to be something along the lines of like maybe Creep Show, where the
Yes.
horror is definitely there, but it takes a bit of a backseat sometimes to allow comedy to really shine through. Because I don't know anything other than like my niece just loves absurd things, and
Yeah.
I feel like introducing her to like really absurdist horror, we kind of have to wait until she's a little bit older. But like, I definitely want to show her like Carnival of Souls. I definitely want to show her like, um, oh God, what was that Romero one that got put on Shutter not too long ago? I don't know,
Romero.
but like literally like something like really like present for that time so I can also turn it into like a bit of a history lesson and being like, here's
Mm.
what was going on. Here's why everything here is a metaphor. But yeah, no, I would definitely start super comedy horror forward, and just definitely kind of go from there because I don't want to like scar her. I'm not gonna like
Yeah.
show her like the collector like or anything like super wild like that. But I mean, I would definitely show her a couple creature features, like maybe an American Werewolf in London,
Oh, yes.
or any, maybe like the third Evil Dead movie, but not like the first two, just
Yeah,
because like
not
I feel like that one's its own beast.
it is, especially like growing up. It's funny because like my dad showed me the original Evil Dead and I just fell in love with it and, you know, fell deeper in love with like demonic possession and all that shit. But
Hell yeah.
when I went to school and I would be like, yeah, I love the Evil Dead. And other kids would be like, oh, yeah, fucking right, the Evil Dead. But they wouldn't be talking about one. They'd be talking about Army of Darkness, especially
Which,
the school I went to.
to
Yeah.
be fair, like I mean, it's a good movie, but
Yeah.
oh no, I kicked it. Okay, nobody panic. It's just me.
No, it's, you're fine. Well, yeah, I mean, everybody enters. I feel like the Evil Dead is one of those franchises where it's like safe to enter in at pretty much any installment. Like you can pretty much
Yeah.
enter in like any the original trilogy and then some of the newer stuff, the 2013, even the latest one. Like I feel like it's open enough for you to just enter in at any time. You know.
I don't know. My niece is like 12. This I think she just turned 12. or she just turned 13. I'm so bad with numbers. And time is a construct. But I think I would definitely do like something along the lines of Evil Dead. Now that we've been talking about it, like yeah, I think that
Yeah.
would be pretty fun for her. Just because like
So
it is a little goofy, but like it's also just like something she's never seen before.
yeah, I already know I'm gonna be pushing my nephew hard because I
Hell
like
yeah.
when he was an infant, like I was sitting there, feeding him his bottle and letting him. We was up watching The Curse of Chucky.
Oh
We
my
was
god, yes.
and I'm like, yeah, this is Mr. Charles Lee Ray. Soak it up, soak it up. But yeah, gotta get him young. Definitely gotta get him
Honestly.
young. We got some family in the building tonight. Tamon Kane, welcome to the room, Tamon. Mr. Screen King himself. Shout out. And Anthony Jerome, thank you for stopping by. Jerome's in the house. Thank you for stopping by. Showing some love. And Tamon says, "True, they feel like isolated entries. Yeah, for
Yeah.
now. Yeah, yeah. They do. It's funny how they do that with everyone. It feels like something isolated. Well,
Oh
yeah, his.
no.
But the funny thing was, I got him to calm down with some Chucky, with some Charles Lee Ray.
Honestly, that
Yeah.
kid's going places. I can feel it.
Yes. Yes. Now, the next question I have for you is the name. How did you come up with Queer Demon? Because when I
Oh
it's eye
god.
catching like the first time. It's eye catching.
So, okay. Um, well, it used to just be queer demon of gayness. Like it used because
Okay.
that was the whole thing is like this quote from early Kyler from the Squidbillies,
Okay.
which I was obsessed with when I was a teenager. Because it was on Adult Swim and it was something I wasn't supposed to be watching. But
Yes.
like there was one episode where he's like, "Stay back from me, you queer demon of gayness," and I was like, "Oh my god, I love that!" And we just ran with it. So it was queer demon of gayness for a long time, but then I was like, "That's way too many letters," and queer demon is just way better. Um, but like I've never been able to have the O be an O on like any social media app. Queer Demon is always taken up, which I'm like super sad about. But at the same time, my big zero just makes it way more unique. So,
Exactly.
but yeah,
Exactly.
queer, queer demon of gayness. Um, it's from an episode of the Squidbillies. Yeah, if you
Okay.
can believe
Okay.
it.
I've caught a few episodes of Squidbillies out there before. It was quite wild, quite wild. Not American, Adult Swim. Late at night, you see some
Hmm.
shit. Moral. You see some shit. It was
Hell yeah.
a lot going on. We got another family member in the building. Germs, just Germs. Jeremy from the Rise from the Dead podcast. Thank you for stopping by, Germs. Thank you for stopping
Hell
by.
yeah.
You know, but yeah, thank you for answering that because I'm always curious. Like when people come up with their names, I'm like, damn, how did they come up with that name? Or some things have more of a ring to it than others. So I'm like, okay, this
Right.
person really put some thought into it. Then sometimes people are like, no, I just it came out of the name generator,
Right. Oh
and
god. They pulled it out of a hat.
yeah, the Wu Tang name generator,
Oh
and
my
just
god.
we're like, this is what we're gonna roll with. This is what we're gonna roll with. You
Well,
know,
no, I mean, like for my username, like people have like actually just started to refer to me as like not even just LT, just like Queer Demon online. And I'm like to the point to where I'm like, I think I can run with this. I mean, like, because I was called queer for so long as like a curse or
yeah,
like someone meaning it in a way that they intended for it to be harmful, to where like now, like I can like totally spin it around. Like I prefer being called queer demon. Like if that's the way you know me, and instead of LT, like shit, I'll take it. Like Queer Demon's also a pretty fun name, so I mean, I don't mind being called it every now and again. But yeah, I like that. I like that question. I haven't been asked that before.
oh yeah, oh yeah. It's I don't know. Like I said, I'm because people ask me about my name, so I'm like, okay, everybody else's name. I wonder like how they get this shit, But it's always interesting to see like the backgrounds and stuff like that,
Yeah,
But and it's funny like when you interact, especially like when you first started interacting with people, especially in the horror community. I'm looking for like their real name. I'm like, okay, do they have it in the bio? Like, what do they want me to
right,
call them, and all this stuff. So I'm like, okay, because some people don't have their name in there at all. They're just like, call me my handle,
right.
but yeah. So now that I know, it's queer demon all the way, queer demon all the
Yeah,
way.
queer demon. I don't know. It
Yes.
just kind of fits too, because like I'm pretty chaotic. I'm not really like the best at keeping track of projects or doing things on time. I'm usually putting on like high pitched non-human voices for my cat. Like, blood rituals every now and then. And of course I'm like queer as fuck. So
It works. It works. We got Germs in the building. He says y'all was watching Adult Swim and I was watching BET Uncut.
oh my God.
What's funny? I actually set my alarm one day because BET Uncut came on like at 3 o'clock in the morning, and I set my
Hmm.
alarm for it to go off. And my dad, he was waking up around that time. He was like, "Why the hell is your alarm going off? This early?" And I'm like, "Oh, it must have, something must have happened."
Oh
You
my
know,
God.
yeah, yeah, good times, good times. Got Cray Dre. We love the refrigerator. Yes, everybody loves the fridge. This is the work of the queen. Jaleesa Taylor. We'll we'll figure out what she do to the next fridge. See how that go. Yeah, BT Uncut was fire. Was fire. Is that Ghostface? Yeah,
Where?
where is
Behind me?
Well, I hope. Oh, maybe he was saying Ghost Space. Oh no, he said I mean Space Ghost. I was like,
Space. Oh,
yeah, I
I
was
was
like, is
like,
you trying to
what?
fuck with me, Tamon? Like somebody's behind me.
Space goes coast to coast. Hell
Yes,
yeah. That was
yes.
also like an interview show, right? Where they'd bring on like Scooby Doo or like Fred Flintstone, like a multi
Mm-hmm.
universe kind of. Hey, that's cool. I haven't thought about that show in
Mm-hmm.
a minute.
Mm-hmm. It's so many classics, so many classics. We grew up in a very good and fruitful time for like entertaining television. Like it, I mean, a lot of it was offensive now. Like I
Oh,
threw
fully.
on High School High yesterday. Oh my god! Like I was like, this is insane. This is insane. It's got past the censors. But yeah, So my next question, for you would be, do you have a favorite subgenre of horror? You
So, okay, not to like dive too deep into philosophy. I just like feel like I'm not 6 years old, so I don't really have a favorite. It always
Okay.
changes. So like, especially because like as of now, I've been like an avid like collector, watcher, enjoyer of horror for like well over almost 2 decades at this point. So it's just
Mm-hmm.
like I've seen so much. And like I, for one, typically like to remain like really open to like any sort of like suggestion or anything that I haven't heard before, or like anything that's just like a little like weird and niche project that like someone was working on for 30 years and it just finally got to see the light. I was like, okay, yeah, show me that. Um, but like for if I were to choose like, can I choose like a top two or three?
Oh yeah, you could choose top two or
Okay,
three.
okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay. So number one is definitely got to be home invasion. Home
Oh,
invasion terrifies the shit out of me. Like
interesting.
I will purposefully, if I'm like, it's even like so much to the point to where like it'll affect my apartment hunting. I'm like, if I'm in a place that feels like I could potentially be, got, I don't want to live there. So, like, I love found footage as well. Found footage is another great subgenre. I just love how versatile, but also like really intimate that you can be with your audience in that movie spectrum. Just
Yeah.
because like the subject matter can literally be about anything. Like it's literally like footage that was found. Like anything can be on it. Like there's no telling. So I think that's really cool because a lot of it does tend to be a bit of a mixed bag, um, especially like after the Blair Witch, I would say. Um, and even like after when Paranormal Activity woke up found footage all over again. Like I feel like found footage especially is just such a mixed bag that you can literally even add subgenres to that subgenre,
Yes.
because there's just like so many at this point. And then third, you're okay. I would have to say probably like Giallo. Giallo is
Mm.
so interesting to me just because like one, they take horror but they elevate it and make it super pretty. Like
Yes.
it's everything is really aesthetic, the costuming is really gorgeous, the set design is always so opulent and just so extravagant. And then there's the lighting design choices where it's just like cool colors just fucking because like
Yes.
but I do appreciate that, like, even my favorite horror movie of all time, which I'm hoping that's not a question you're going to ask me. Is that a question you're going
Oh
to ask
no,
me?
no, no.
Okay,
You
okay, okay.
good.
Even my favorite horror movie of all time could technically classify as a giallo, which is Scream 1996. And like a lot
Mhm.
of the framework for it is there. It's just like obviously missing a lot of key giallo elements. But like, I mean, the killer wears a mask. The killer wears gloves. The people discovering and uncovering the mystery of the killer are not police people. There's sex. A lot of the dialogue is, a little bit more of the time, and I just really like it. I just really like giallos a lot. I feel like I'm rambling now. I
No,
had a
not at
point,
all.
and I'm just gonna take a sip of water.
Listen, I'm sold. I'm invested. I'm like as you were talking, I'm like I need this video breakdown of why Scream is a giallo, like either on YouTube or TikTok. Like I need this 5 minute breakdown right here.
It's honestly just kind of like my own little fan theory. And like, obviously, I don't want to be too vocal about it because the horror community online can sometimes be filled with like so much vitriol that I don't even want to like post on X anymore. Um, but yeah, I think for me personally, it just hits a lot of marks that I've seen in the Giallo films that I've seen like over the years. Because like,
Yes.
I love older horror movies strictly because they have that very kind of lightning in a bottle kind of feel. Like one of my favorite Giallo movies is called Opera, and like the way that the killer tortures this girl is something I've never seen like
Yeah.
in anything, and it happened in like the 80s. But it's like this killer, he like tapes nails like under this woman's eyes so that she can't blink without injuring herself. So she has to watch him commit these murders. And like she's like tied and bound. It's a little, I'm not gonna lie, it's a little horny, but like it's so good. Like,
Yeah.
and obviously there's an opera scene where she's like full on belting her aria in her head to toe opera garb. It's great. But yeah,
Yes.
I
Yes.
just I
All
love
right.
that.
Listen, you sold me on it. You sold me on because I've seen it around. I haven't checked out everything, but I definitely got to check that out. I think the
Yeah.
last time that I was in that like genre was it Tenebrae,
Oh
which
yeah, that's another
I
Dario Argento one.
yeah I ended up
It's
loving.
okay.
Yeah, yeah, it was I don't know, it's just something about the way it was shot, the story,
Hell
and
yeah.
also like I felt like the killer was like an ASMR killer. He was always whispering behind your ass before
Right. And
you
that's the
was.
thing is it's like all giallos at their basest level, they're always about sex. Always
Yes,
about sex.
yes.
Or at
See
least
that
the ones
that's
I've seen.
yes, yes, that's another video. That's another video that I'm like, okay, I need to see that. I need to see that on my TikTok feed. These breakdowns, Tamon Kane says my guy hashtag home invasion. Yes, yes, home
Yeah.
invasion.
Home invasion
Definitely.
movies scare the hell out of me. It's like my biggest nightmare is waking up one day and at the foot of my bed seeing someone who does not live in my home.
That is a super, super, super like because I have like everybody's got their like fears or whatever, their deep-seated fears and
Hmm.
stuff like that. But as far as um like one of them, it's walking inside of the apartment, all the lights are off. I'm fumbling around, and then I click the light on in the room, and there's just somebody there. And I don't know why it is this way, but a naked old man on the bed, and he's just smiling. And I'm just like, it would freak the fuck out of me. Like that
Oh my
shit, like that.
God.
Yeah, this is it's very like,
I feel
but
like the last act of Hereditary for you was like literal just nightmare fuel purely for like 15 minutes.
yes, yes. That's why, when people, because I feel like, for the most part, people really appreciate Hereditary, but we had a lot of people who didn't feel the same way. But I felt like I when I saw that, especially that ending, she, of course, her crawling on the ceiling and all that, but
Yes,
the
I
naked
love that.
the naked old folks, I was just like, oh, this
Yeah, you were
is
like, hang it up, hang it
yeah,
up.
yeah, I'm done. I'm good. I'm good. We got Cray Dre says, I love found footage. I'm glad I finally see the beauty in them because I used to hate them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I hear that a
yeah,
lot. And I think it kind of just boils down to like the acting in there. Because a lot of the times it's not very believable. You've got like, obviously, like the joy of found footage is like you can hire anybody,
yeah.
but also it can, I mean, obviously be like a bit of a detriment to its own self just because, like, not everybody is, um, you're not going to get like a Meryl Streep in a found footage film. Like, that's not going to be the thing. And like, that's the thing I think a lot of people kind of, um, put on it is this like almost like onus that like since it's found footage it needs to have the quality and caliber of like a mainstream
Yeah.
studio production. And I'm like, dude, it's literally like you blew dust off of this in your attic and you found it. You're supposed to be just random people that you have no idea, you've never seen these folks before, and you're just sitting there watching their lives unfold. And to me,
Listen,
that's the joy of found footage, is because like it can be about fucking anything. Like I've seen found footage movies about like Bigfoot. I've seen found footage movies about ghosts. You know,
yes.
I think like out of all of the found footage movies, I probably will not be as surprised as I was with the taking of Deborah Logan. Have you seen that one?
Yes, that is a classic.
God,
I have to own it on physical media because it tugged at my heartstrings
yes.
and then freaked the fuck out of me.
I
It
know.
was just
I was bringing it up because of the old naked lady, but like,
you
but
already
no, like
know.
exactly. That's why I was just like, oh my god. But no, that's honestly, I'm so glad to hear that you also enjoy found footage movies. Just because like they're so diverse, you can do literally fucking anything with them. Like this
Yes.
past year alone, we got the what was it, the one found footage and the other one was analog. It was the Outwaters and Skinamarink,
Yes.
and those
Yes.
were literally like two of the most like surrealist, absurd, weird found footage movies, and I loved them.
Oh,
I know that's really divisive, but like honestly, I don't know. I had a fun time. But
no, I love Skinamarink. It's gonna make my top. I don't know, like it's probably gonna upset a lot of people, but it is what it is. Like I love
yeah,
Skinamarink. And I was gonna ask you. That was gonna be like my next question. Do you consider Skinamarink? Of course, it's found footage, but do you consider it found footage and home invasion?
I actually consider it neither.
Ooh,
I consider it more of like an
interesting.
analog horror.
Oh,
Analog horror, if you're not familiar, is just like kind of this, just like really bare bones approach to horror.
yeah.
And it's typically utilizing like CRT TVs and like handheld camcorders. And
Okay.
it utilizes a lot of like, what's that? It's not like a tear, but it's like we grew up in the age of VHS. You know how
Yes.
there's that like that those lines across the
The
screen,
squiggly, yeah, yeah.
kind of. I think they're like white, and they like make the image kind of stutter. Like I live for that shit. But like definitely I feel like it's a bit more of an analog horror. To me it felt more like a an hour 40-minute music video to where I was
Oh,
just like everything is like orchestrated to help us discover like how this child went missing within his own home.
yes.
But like I don't know. I do hear when people say found footage, but like for me, I think the element that's missing is that these people are clearly being recorded by like a third entity. Like there's not like another person in the room that's like documenting this. They're not telling each other like, "Hey, keep recording because we want to show everyone this" or something. So
True.
there's not like that really like typical like setup that you would see in a found footage. But also, I don't really see it as home invasion because I feel like those entities were already there. I feel like, if
Wow.
anything, it's the family that invaded the home because they came into that like space, honestly.
Interesting. Okay, I gotta spin the block around on Skinamarink and give you some updated thoughts. Now you've given me some food for thought because it does make
Yeah.
sense. Like a lot of times when we do see found footage, they're like, keep recording, keep recording.
Yeah,
But
it's like that typical like setup to where you give your audience like a reason to why this thing exists. And I mean, you see it like you see it all the time. Like you see it in Grave Encounters, Hell House
yes,
LLC. They did it even in Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon. Like
yes,
you've got like all of these found footage movies that like they're all telling you like the setup or the reason as to why they're filming. And Skinamarink, while it doesn't necessarily like vocally do that, to me it just doesn't feel like found footage. It just feels more like an experience. Like, did you see Mad God?
yes. Mad God
Yeah,
definitely felt like an experience.
it was exactly. It's not like a typical like plot A to move to plot B to plot C, or it's not like your typical 3 act structure that you would see. Like there's really honestly, it's just kind of like the experience more than anything else. It just felt like I was inside of an art gallery alone. The lights were off, the doors were closed, and there was a projector behind me that started digitally, but then was replaced by like an old school projector from like elementary school. And that's how the movie is. It's just like, it just feels like, I don't know, it's almost like not quite out of body, but I don't know. I really resonated with like how the film was like made. And also, like a lot of the scares are very unexpected because like did I tell you I made or have you seen the Yosemite? Like
Uh,
basically it's like the Skinamarink, the Fisher phone, but it's like they put falsies on it. They made it
oh
do like
wow.
the no.
No, I haven't
Okay.
seen that one.
I'm about to blow your mind. So earlier
What?
this year I went to a horror convention in Irvine. Irvine or Irving? It's in Texas.
Gotcha.
And I made this purse where it's literally like the Fisher phone, but like I put on like lips and false eyelashes,
That's
and it has like
hilarious.
a gold chain, so I can literally like wear it. Um, but it got me into Fangoria magazine. Like I'm literally in their August edition,
Yes.
because I built this, and it's just so funny that like obviously my love for Skinamarink came way before I made this lovely little beauty, but yeah, I'm so glad we got an opportunity to talk about it because it's like one of my claims to fame.
Yes, yes, I love it. I love it. Skinamarink love and getting some love in Fangoria. That had to be wild. That had to be
Yeah,
wild.
I was I was scared and gagged and also excited and nervous and all of the things just because I was like, I'm a little nobody from Austin, Texas, who just so happened to make a meme come to life.
Yes,
And
yes.
like even Rebecca from Evil Dead, not Evil Dead, sorry, Dead Meat,
Mm-hmm.
James A. Janice's wife, she was even on it too. So she got to like see it and she complimented it. And I was like, lady, life made. That's kind of wild.
Yes, yes, I love it. I love it. Gotta, it's always awesome when like you show your genuine like love for the community and you put, you have a little project and you put, your just your love and your passion. You're not, thinking about, oh,
Yeah.
I'm trying to get in this magazine, I'm trying to get here. But then when it happens, it's like, oh, this is the life. This
No,
is great.
honestly, I was just being silly.
Yeah. But that's how it is. That's how we know it's genuine. That's how we know it's genuine.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know.
But it's fun. I don't know what I'm gonna do this year to top that, but it's gonna be epic.
Yes, yes. I can't wait. I can't wait. We got a Taymon. He says, I knew it, the best franchise in the world. Happy 27th anniversary. Damn, 27 years of
Yeah, I watched it
woo.
yesterday. Yeah. I saw that movie in theaters twice this year. I
Mm,
saw it like literally the day before Halloween and also the day after.
listen,
Scream is like my number one. I will die for that franchise.
listen, Scream was definitely up there. The first time I saw it in the drive-in theater, and it just blew my mind. Yeah, because
Oh,
I lived about a mile, well, maybe like 2.5 miles from the drive-in. So at night, I had a stereo, or the boombox. Like I could pick up the radio signals from the movie, so I could listen to the movies at night. You know,
that's so
yeah,
cool.
it was definitely a time. Wish I was a kid again sometimes. But before bills. Before
Before Rent.
yes, and before the housing crisis and COVID and all this. Just like, oh my god, oh my god. Um, we got a Cray Dre, my favorite horror movie, Prom Night. I found out a few years ago was inspired
It
by Giallo.
is.
Oh,
I
okay.
love Prom Night. Jamie
Yes,
Lee
yes.
Curtis is amazing in that movie. And she has like her own little like dance solo, which like they need to put more dance solos in horror movies. Honestly.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah. I second that. I think that dance solos, whenever they sprinkle them in, like even if it's in something like a Jay and Silent Bob, I'm like, just bring it in there. Just give me the choreography. I was gonna say
Right.
choreography, but give me the choreography.
I
It's
mean, I
like,
don't need anything more than a little 1-2, but like, don't make me bored.
oh
But
no, I need the water fountain.
oh
I
my
need the
God.
I need the color sequence. People like a color code, and I need all that. I need all
You
that.
need like a full-scale Broadway production.
Yes, yes. Give me Broadway, people.
Honestly, I think it would be so amazing if we got to see like a live production of like Anna and the Apocalypse. I mean, it
Oh,
would obviously be really hard, but like I would see it. I would watch the shit out of that.
listen, we saw I mean, I saw The Evil Dead, the
The
musical,
musical.
twice, and that
Nice.
was fun. And I was like, oh, this it's interesting what they did with this. And then I saw Matilda, on Broadway, and I was just like,
Ooh,
oh, this is fun. So I'm all for them expanding certain genres and subgenres to the
hell
stage.
yeah. Well,
It
because
def-
when I first moved to Austin, it was like 2015. Um, I got a job working in the costume department for Silence of the Lambs, the musical.
what Silence of the
Yes,
Lambs, the musical?
it was so good. I honestly I love it so much, especially because like there was a scene where we got to dress up the extra actors as like actual lambs. So I just remember burning myself so many times just trying to get like their little like headbands with like their ears. It was so precious. But yeah, it's a musical. You should see if you
What?
can find it. It's so much fun. It's
Yeah, I've got
very
to check
silly.
this out. Holy shit. Silence of the
Yeah.
Lambs, the musical.
I
That's
think it's just called Silence, the musical. But
oh,
like
okay.
after that one, we also did like an Edgar Allan Poe musical. I was just like, where are you guys finding these?
It's
But
somebody's
yeah,
passion. It's somebody's
I mean,
passion.
yeah, yeah. But
I, I love it. I love it. You got Cray Dre said opera is so good. You know,
yes, I have
to
exquisite taste.
Yes, yes, you do. That's the one thing about people who come on this show. They all have some good ass taste. Nobody's taste is trash, you know.
Exactly.
Tenebrae is my shit. Yes, 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 yes. And yes, Tyrone, I never thought of it like that. He was doing
Hell yeah.
ASMR.
Yes. That's that
Yes,
deadly ASMR. He'll get you.
exactly, exactly. You know, we got Tamon. He said, "Vacancy." Vacancy was a good. I really enjoyed Vacancy. Vacancy was dope. It was
Yeah.
definitely up there. You know.
Vacancy to me, that was like what, around the same time like the Poughkeepsie tapes came out too, right? Where it was like they were
Yes.
trying to venture more into like extreme horror.
I got high and I saw Poughkeepsie tapes, and I should
I
not have
didn't get
gotten
it.
high.
Oh no.
I should not have gotten because holy shit. That it was just talk about like watching a film and it feeling real to you. Like it just felt really real. You know, very real. You
Yeah.
know.
I
We got.
unfortunately didn't get to see that movie until like just recently, so I obviously
Mhm.
don't have that same experience because for me I was like, wow, this is camp. But like obviously like of the time, like if I was still in that like mindset, I
Yes.
mean I was probably like still in like my early teenage years when that came out. So like if I would
Mm.
have seen it then, like probably have like a way different outlook. But like watching it as I did now, I was like, wow, this is kind of funny.
It's up there. It's up there. You know, we got Ryan Swayze. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for stopping by, Ryan. You know, uh Tamon bringing up Angela, Night of the Demons. Yes, yes.
Yes.
Angela is definitely up there, you know, definitely up there, you know. So my next question, you know, for you is going to be do you have a favorite decade of horror, you know, just something that stands out to your mind, you know, if you don't have a necessarily a favorite, you know, a decade that stands out for you.
Uh, a lot of people are probably just going to say like 80s or 90s. For me, I just honestly, I don't really think horror has ever had a year where it's disappointed.
Yeah.
Like there's always been a year where something groundbreaking has come out or like something that's like shifted. It may not be in America, but
Yes.
it came out. Cause like even
Yes.
as far as like I remember senior year, or not even, it was like the year after. Right after senior year, I watched this one Spanish movie and I was like, oh my God, this is terrifying. And they do that over there. I want more of that. And like after that, I was just like, okay, foreign horror is the way to go. So if anything, if I do have to say, I'd probably have to say like early 2000s Japanese horror.
Ooh.
That right
Okay.
there, they unlocked something horrifying in those 10 years.
Yes.
Like, because then you had like Cairo and like The Grudge, obviously like the Ring sequels. Um, but and then like even too like not even just like strictly Japan. Like in 2004, you have the movie Shutter from I
Yes.
believe it's from Thai or Thailand. I'm not sure. I can't remember like where its origin is, but it's just like you
Hmm.
have all of these amazing films, and I would definitely have to say yeah, early 2000s Japanese horror. If I have to do decade, I don't know.
Okay, okay. Got a good choice. Not a bad choice. Not a bad choice. You know, Cray Dre bringing up
Yeah,
Juon.
Ju-on.
Yes. You know, Ringu. You know,
Yeah, and
Shutter.
also Ringu, okay, I'm gonna get a little feral. So you're just gonna have to forgive me. But the man in Ringu, oh my god. That middle part and that big ass
This,
beard. I'm like, sir, I know you're her ex-husband, but what did you do? What did you do to fumble this bad bitch? Because it's just like she was doing the damn thing in the
yeah.
ring and the ring too. Because I was like, oh damn, she's still going strong. But no, for real, like, what did he do? What were his crimes? Why? Why was he in the doghouse? And also, I'll take him. I mean, he doesn't make it, but like, I'll take him for where he's at.
Well, yeah. I think he had to. You know, he had to pay for whatever whatever his crimes were. But you know, it was. But at least we know he's got a
Yeah.
home. You know, he's got a home.
He's gotta, yeah. He can live with me. Yeah, and
yes.
I think the like the most recent thing I saw him in was that Mortal Kombat movie that came out like in the middle of the pandemic.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
the middle part. Yes, girl, it was there. It was nice and wavy and flowy. Oh, oh, he's beautiful. But yeah, he was in the Mortal Kombat movie for like 10 minutes, I think.
Yeah.
Um, I was really surprised because I was like, "Oh my God, you're still so beautiful." I mean, I wasn't expecting anything different based on how he looked
Yeah.
in the movie. But yeah, sorry, I got totally distracted.
No, no, I listen, I completely understand. I completely understand. It is all right. So, we got our next question, which would be if you could have been on the set for a horror film, which horror film could it be,
Yeah, Scream
if you
Three.
could be
Scream Three.
Scream?
I don't even want to let you finish Scream Three. I want to be on that set
Wow.
so bad. Just because, okay, so obviously there's tons of drama, right? This is
Yeah,
the
yeah,
first Scream movie in the entire franchise that was not written by Kevin Williamson. It had
yes,
almost very little involvement from him. The people that were writing it were making rewrites every single fucking day.
yes,
The killers were always changing. The leak. If
yes.
I if I was able to just be on set the one day that the leak happened, I'd have enough drama and energy to live off the rest of my life on. Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah.
Interesting. Scream 3. The
Honestly,
I used to call it the action pack one, because
the
of that
action pack.
explosion.
Yes,
I was not expecting that. When
truly.
they're
It's
reading
just
the script and
yeah. Because on all honesty, like, how did the printer work? How did the fax machine work if the power was off?
that's a good question. That's a good that's a good question.
But like, that's the thing is like, if I was on set that day, that could have been fixed. I would have caught that continuity error. I would have been like, "Excuse me, Mr. Craven, knock knock. I have a
Well,
I have a request for you."
well, yeah,
But yeah,
Wes Craven and Tyler Perry, continuity be damned, with both of
honestly,
those,
yeah,
continuity be damned, we got Tamar says Scream 3 is a rom-com.
it really
Interesting.
is. It
Interesting.
focuses so much on Gail and Dewey. Which,
Yeah.
like, to be fair, I get it. They were like falling in love in real life, and it was supposed to be like a beautiful mirror to, reality, but like, kill them.
You know what? Sometimes if it's done properly, because I know a lot of people weren't digging
Yeah.
it, but I was really digging the romantic aspect in The Conjuring 3. Like I really dug. I think it sold the movie for me.
Ooh,
You know.
yeah. I mean, I also just like really like those movies because they put such a focus on like the family first. Like they
Hmm.
really give you a sense of like these people that you're supposed to be like witnessing that are like undergoing these really traumatic, horrifying events. And I think they do a
Yes.
really good job at establishing that really early on of like, hey, here's this entire family that you get to watch suffer for like an hour and a half.
Yes.
I hope you like them. um, but and speaking of The Conjuring, that's another one that has like a random musical number because in the second one he sings on the
Yes.
guitar, right?
Yes. Yes. It was not expected, but The Conjuring 2 gave us everything. It gave us
Honestly, that's my
everything.
favorite one. Yeah.
It is. It's my favorite one too.
Yeah.
I'm not going to argue with anybody if they love the first one more or the third one more, but the second one gave us the nun, gave us, different elements as far as demonic possession, and gave us the crooked man. Like it was
Which I
just
really want to see go somewhere because it's just like I feel like they just dropped it and they dropped the ball and like I haven't heard anything about like any sort of like Crooked Man movie since. Because like
yeah.
for me, I love a cryptid. I love
Yes.
a cryptid like Mothman, Slender Man, any man. Well,
Okay.
not any
Okay. I'm
man,
glad I
but
know. I'm
like,
glad I know.
but yeah, give me a cryptid and I'll be
So
interested.
okay, because when I get this cryptid discussion popping, I'll definitely
Oh
get you on the panel,
yeah. You
because
should. I love a good cryptid movie. Bigfoot is like I have probably watched more movies about Bigfoot than like any other cryptid, but that's just because like his lore is like it literally changes from like person to person. And I think
Yes.
like I was having this discussion about Candyman the other day, whereas like the new Candyman is literally just like very similar to the original in a sense that it's like an urban legend that changes over time. And it's
Yeah.
like a big game of telephone to where it's like everyone has their twist on the story. And I think like that's a really good thing for like Bigfoot just because like I don't know, you could that's another thing is like he can be whatever. I want to see a really funny Bigfoot. To me, I want to
Listen,
see like a clumsy Bigfoot that accidentally kills his victims just because he's so klutzy.
exactly. A whole movie like that, because listen, Godzilla is pumping out, how many movies a year and killing the box office.
That's
So,
different though. Godzilla's got IP.
you know, like let's go. Let's go. We got Anthony Jerome. He says, have you seen Bigfoot's Girl on Tubi? You know what? I've seen the advertisement
Girl.
for Bigfoot's Girl, but I've never seen Bigfoot's Girl.
If it's on Tubi, I will give it a try because I have found some gems on Tubi. So,
I agree. I agree.
Bigfoot's Girl. Is
I
it
agree.
funny? I'm kind of scared now. Is it like a Hallmark Bigfoot movie?
Which I kind of would love to see. Hallmark,
Honestly,
yeah, lifetime Bigfoot movie where the
yes.
Bigfoot he goes out one night and then the his girl finds out he's got all these other kids, Bigfoot kids, and then the Bigfoot kids have to come stay with him, and it's
Oh my
like,
God.
how does the wife deal with being married to Bigfoot after he cheated on her and had
That's
these children?
creepy.
It's
Like
listen,
give us Bigfoot cheaper by the dozen, and I'm here for it.
yes, yes, bigger by the dozen,
Bigger by
bigger
the
by the
dozen,
dozen.
yes. That'll be the sequel.
Yes, yes. I love. Listen. Tubi, give us our credit. Give us our credit.
Right.
Give us our credit for this goal. For this goal. You know. Now, for my next question, it would be, we're in that era of, like we know all these horror content creators, especially like horror content creators of color, and horror content creators from all backgrounds. A lot of queer horror content creators. So how does it feel to be in this space in 2023 going into 2024? Versus back in the
Right.
day when we really didn't have a lot of representation.
Honestly, to me, it's just like it's pretty scary. I'm not gonna lie,
Yeah,
especially because like I went from just being an avid enjoyer of movies to now it's like actually getting opportunities from like my passion.
yeah.
Um, I'm so sorry. I don't know if you can hear her, but my cat is
Oh no, she's
trying to make
fine.
an appearance.
We love this.
Okay,
This is a
okay,
cat friendly zone. It's a pro cat zone.
okay. This is Mononoke. Wave and say
Oh,
hello. She's just really
hello.
vocal. She's really vocal right now. She's probably just hungry or just wants to hang out. So she's just going to be on my lap. So if you see the tail, that's what it is. But yeah, no,
Yes.
I think. Oh, I think personally, being a content creator in general is just like something I never thought possible for myself. Just because like I make horror lists and recommendations for people like all the time that now I'm just like able to share my passion and like my love for this genre with like so many different people, and it's like it's a little scary that so many people now have access to me. So
Yeah.
I think private things are it's like a bit of a toed line um, that I'm still kind of like trying to get used to. But all in all, like I'm really excited to see what 2024 brings for me. I know that my sister is wanting to do some sort of like podcast. I know that like I want to do more than just record videos in my apartment all day long.
Yes.
But like I think for me, being queer, Asian, and also non-binary is just like something that I've personally never seen in the horror space before. I'm sure that we are out there. I'm not saying that we are not,
Mhm.
Um, but it's just like me personally, I would love to see that like I could be the one that makes that space for us. Because like I mean, all horror is valid. And I personally just I really like being part of it.
Yes, yes, and that's what it's about, putting yourself out there. Because when you put yourself out there, you make somebody else, who you may not even know is watching, but you make them not feel
Right.
alone. They
Exactly.
feel a little bit more connected. Even if they don't gotta hit you up, but they're like, oh, they're out there, so I feel like I feel represented. So let me maybe I can go out there and get on a mic and say a little something, express
Right,
myself.
right.
So yes, yes, and we also have a Taymon. It's a good question.
Yeah,
Thank you, Taymon.
I agree.
Cray Dre, I love cats. A lot of cat love. In the building. Jaleesa says,
Better be.
precious.
This is my daughter. I literally gave birth to her. Um, she is, how old are you now? 8. She's 8 years old.
Ooh,
She is my lovely little kitty, and she takes such good photos. If you guys want to see more photos of my cat, you're more than welcome to on my Instagram. I am obsessed with her.
yes, yes.
As you can tell, she's obsessed with me too. So,
Yeah. I mean, listen, I completely understand. I used to have a cat, and I used to take photos like all the time, all the time. And it was funny, like I would back in the day when you used to be able to connect your phone to your PlayStation and just upload all the photos like as a memory bank. I used to do that, and
before cloud storage.
yes, before cloud stuff. So I remember I had sold my PlayStation to somebody, and they
Aw.
they were laughing because they said like I didn't delete the pictures, so it was all these
Uh-oh.
photos of me and my cat in there.
Oh,
So it was just, yeah, it was a time. It was a time.
that's so
So I
cute
definitely,
though.
yeah, I definitely understand the cat
Oh
love,
my
the
God.
cat love. You
Oh.
know,
The one
now
thing
my
I don't love about my cat is that I'm still not, even though it's been like 8 years, like I'm still
yeah,
not over the fact that everything I own is covered in her hair,
yes,
namely
yes.
me.
No, I remember those days, stuff scratched, hair everywhere. I remember those days, and you're just like, oh, you can never, there are never too many lint brushes, in the
Right.
world,
There's never
for
enough. I feel
for a
like I
cat.
need I need like lint rollers, but like that's the surface of my home. So that hair just gets trapped there and I can just peel off the wall and just start all over.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I totally understand. We got Tamon. He says, heading out, fam. Tonight was so good. Thank you, Tamon, for stopping by, showing some love, showing some love. We appreciate it. We appreciate it. Now my next question would be, if you could see a horror movie for the first time again, which horror film would it be? Who
Huh.
would it be?
Oh my God. I don't want to be basic. um, hmm. Ooh, okay. No, no. Okay. So it would probably just be Scream. Like I don't want to be basic. I
Gotcha.
know, I know. I said I didn't want to be basic, but it was literally between my head. I was literally thinking between like Scream or The Thing. But like the precedent is like this is my first time seeing it again. It would have to be in cinema. Like it would just
Gotcha.
have to be in like a movie screening because it's just like I don't want to enjoy that in my living room.
Gotcha.
Especially if I'm like okay, like if I'm wiping my memory and doing it for the first time, I want to set like set myself up for like good vibes and expectations because like what if I wipe my memory and I watch it for the first time again and I hate it?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah. I've had those moments sometimes. You have a fond memory of a film, and then you rewatch it and you're like, oh man,
Yeah.
this was, say, well, shit, the shit happened last night with High School High. I was like, this was a funny movie as a youngin, but now I'm like, oh my God, this was so like offensive. This is outrageous. What was I laughing at? Was this amusing me as a child? This, yeah, yeah. Or a rabbit hole, a rabbit hole. But my next question for you would be, does horror do anything for you, for your mental health, specifically, if anything?
I used to have this talk with my therapist a lot. She would always be like, "You got to stop watching horror movies right before bed." And I was like, "But it's not giving me nightmares. It's my medication." But for me, like, I think in terms of like my mental health and stability, like, I think it's a very interesting question, this one, just because, like, to me, it's more of like a release. To me, it's
Yeah,
more of like I'm purging all of these like bad thoughts, feelings, energy into this movie. And typically, the horror that I tend to steer toward is the ones with like the happy endings, where like
yeah.
the final girl, she gets in trouble, but she does it, she lives. Because for me, like if a horror movie ends on like too nihilistic or like too depressing of a note, I'm not gonna enjoy that. That's like Funny Games,
Yeah.
or God, what was that one? Speak No Evil, that one that came out on Shudder. Like I think like
Ooh,
this year, where it's just like super bleak and like,
yeah.
oh my God, the ending is just like, oh gross. Or Eden Lake too,
Oh
like
my God.
those kinds of movies, like no, I can't do that because like I feel like those would affect my mental health. Um, but like in terms of like how I function as a natural human being watching a horror movie basically every single day, never been better. But no, I think I'm okay. Like in terms of like how I like to watch horror, I do it in a pretty healthy way as like a means of escape. And obviously, I'm not going to go out there and like swing an axe at anyone unless it,
Unless they
deserves.
deserve
But
it. Yeah. Yeah.
but like I think one of my exes was just like, "You watch too much horror. You know how to hide a body," and I was like, I can do that without a horror movie. So
Yeah.
hold your
Yeah.
tongue, sir.
And that's the funny thing because I feel like, horror fans, may have certain skills and, zombie apocalypses and things like that, but it's the true crime fans and the,
Oh yeah,
they're the ones that really, know how to, know what chemicals mix with, what
truly,
chemicals, and, they're the
for
ones.
real.
They're
You
the
want to learn how
ones.
to disassemble a body and bury it in 50 states? Ask a true crime person.
Exactly. And they'll let you
They'll
know
tell
how
you.
you gonna get caught.
Exactly.
They'll let you know it all. They'll let you know it all. We got a Cray Dre says the ones with the dark endings stick with me because it's just so wildly depressing.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. True crimes is where my love for horror
Ooh.
started. Yes, yes. And I love that you mentioned Eden Lake because literally after watching that movie, my whole weekend was ruined. Like after the ending, just
Yeah, I was just like,
ruined.
why did I sit through that? Why
It's
it's just
crazy.
like after that, like the thing is and I was talking to some other friends about this too, is like I needed something anti-horror to watch
Yes.
after that. Like, because even okay, slight tangent, but have you seen the Indonesian film Satan Slaves?
Listen, I own both on my shelf. One is bootleg because they haven't released Satan Slaves 2 on
The
physical,
second
but
one.
I got it on my
Okay,
shelf.
okay. So in communion with the elevator,
Yes.
I literally had to pause that because it affected me so much. I had to like pause it, walk to the other room, and be like, "Damn!" And then I scurried back because I was like, I wanted to know what happened next. But like, that's a cold open for the history books because
Yes.
that whole
Yes.
setup is just so juicy, like the entire way through. Like it's just an exercise in tension. It's brilliant.
Yes. Oh, it's top tier. It's definitely top tier. Like I love a good Indonesian horror. And if you have not checked out Satan Slaves, people, 1 and 2, amazing. Especially
Yeah.
Communion Part 2, Chef's Kiss.
Oh,
Chef's Kiss. Loved
To
it.
me,
Loved
Communion did feel a little Scooby-Doo at some points, but in all honesty, that just kind of made me love it a little more
it.
because it
Yes.
gave me something as like obviously like we're not like from Indonesia, we have no stake in, but like it helped me relate to it just a little bit more
Yeah.
because it was just like it felt like something so familiar. Like it's just like, oh, it's the mystery gang, and they're like unfolding why this ghost is attacking this high rise. Um, but there's way more to it.
Yes. Yes.
But have you seen the original?
No, I have to go back. I have to go back and see
Yeah,
the original.
I
Yeah.
think it's still on Shutter.
Yeah.
It's obviously way different.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot. I thought it was a really good like for the abilities that they were able to pull off for like the SFX and stuff and like for like a lot of the ghost scenes and whatever, like all the camera work was a little archaic, but like it's obviously like it's a good passion project. Like it's a really good movie. It's not
Yes.
really like too scary to like anyone like watching now because I mean like
Yeah.
at this point we're so desensitized. But like it's still a really fun time and
Yeah.
pretty great effective scares I would say.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely. If you have not checked, if you have not dived into Indonesian horror, folks, dive
Yeah,
in. Dive in.
do
They've
it.
they've got the gold. They've got the
Hell yeah.
gold. We got
Impedagore, Queen of Black
oh,
Magic.
you're speaking. I got
Um,
them all on the shelf. As soon as
the
I was falling down a rabbit hole, and I'm like, oh, Pedagore, Amazon, you got that? Let me get that.
Hell yeah. Well, because the Indonesian horror, I really started falling in love with it after I saw Safe Haven in VHS 2.
Yeah.
And what's funny is like some of those actors are in some other Indonesian films that I've seen. And it's just like I can never say his last name, but Timo Tjahjanto and also Joko Anwar,
Yes.
those
Oh,
two men, they are pioneers of the Indonesian horror sphere right now. I love that.
Joko Anwar. This guy just top of the top. It was funny because I had posted up a picture of like a stack of like international horror that I had, and I had his movies in there, but I had two bootlegs in there. I had Satan Slaves 2 and I had Queen of Black Magic, the remake in there, but they were
Yeah.
bootlegs, and he liked the photo, and I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna get I'm gonna get me a letter. But he's
Oh
probably
my
just
God.
like, oh, he's enjoying the movies. Let him give him a
Right.
pass, give him a
Right.
pass. Um, but we got Kira in the building. Thanks for stopping by, Kira, from the Double
Yeah.
Feature podcast. Eaton Lake was unreal. The ending wrecked me. Yes, yes. Super, super wrecked. Yes, Mika. Thanks for
Yeah.
stopping by, Mika. The other half of the Double Feature podcast. The doubles over in the building.
Honestly, I feel
Yeah,
like that's a movie that like even the ending, like a hug would not fix that. Like I
no.
need like a full on therapy session.
The thing is, being an adult and being in therapy, I'm like, damn,
Yeah.
I wish I had therapy back then, available to me, like to digest some of this stuff, at some points. You know, uh got Kira says Satan Slaves, haven't seen it. Well, yes, Kira, Satan Slaves and Satan Slaves Communion, both on Shutter, and they are both top tier, definitely top tier. We got In Love with Horror in the building. Yes, yes.
Yes.
Yes, the lovely couple, love every time you guys stop through and show some love. Which they actually, I was on their show not too long ago, and they were talking about found footage films. So there definitely it's definitely got to be a discussion, popping off with
Hell
this found
yeah.
footage, because it's got a lot of love, got a lot of love. So yes, yes. Now my next question for you would be: do you have any favorite horror television shows? And it could be past or present. But any favorite horror
Ooh.
television shows?
Um, Obviously The Haunting of Hill House. That's probably like the first thing I can think of. When I was first watching it, I was just like, "Whoa, this this is probably like what Stephen King wanted to make in the 90s, but like present
Yes.
day. Because like obviously it's like horror out the freaking wazoo, but like there's just such a
Yes.
touching and like heartbreaking story at like the crux of this entire story. So it's just like I think that one's probably like number one. Um, and then there's this other one I watched recently. It's called Pobre Diablo, which translates to Poor Devil. And
Mm.
it's streaming on Max right now. And it's a horror comedy show, but it's basically like a spiritual successor to Rosemary's Baby. But it's like what happened to the baby like 50 years from now. So essentially, it's like Rosemary and Guy get sent to hell to raise their baby, who they name Stan, and right, and he's like raised with like demons and everything, and on his like 666th month of being alive, he has to then go up to Earth and be the Antichrist and start the apocalypse and kill all of humanity. And it's this animated Spanish show, and it is so out of pocket and so funny, that I just feel like everyone should give it a shot, because it's like it's super quick. I think it's only like 8 episodes, um, but it's a spiritual successor to Rosemary's Baby. It's kind of wild. Like even Stan the boy, he wants to be an actor just like his father. He doesn't want to take over the world. He wants to sing and be in musicals. It's so funny. Another good one is on Netflix still. I mean, I've binged it like so many times, but it's
Yeah.
Junji Ito's Macabre Tales, or
Oh,
it's like that
yes.
like anthology.
The master.
Oh, geez Louise, I've seen some disturbing things, but good Lord, he surprises me every time. But yeah,
Yes.
I think those three probably right now, other than like Marianne, which is also on Netflix.
Oh my
That's a
God,
good
Marianne is
one.
fucking amazing. Like I
Oh,
think I need to do a discussion on Marianne alone
yeah,
because that
yeah, you
is
should.
fuck. Marianne is fucking amazing. Like I always recommend people, especially if you're into French horror, you know, and just
Hmm.
good good directing and you know just
Yeah.
good storytelling and scary shit like
And that
Marianne.
old woman, like, there was just something about her eyes that just like scream danger. And it's just like her, she was probably the best part about it. That old lady, I loved
Yeah,
her. She was
just
that, that was wild commitment to a role, I will say.
just imagine coming home, opening up the door, you know, and then turning on the light, and she's there looking at you, you know, just
uh,
with her eyes,
but
you know, just
yeah, I actually don't watch too much TV, like in terms of like TV shows. Like I
yeah.
obviously will sit in front of a TV, but I mean like primarily like shows. I mean like I watched American Horror Story for a while, but we don't got to talk about that.
Yeah, I know that the last. I mean, it used to be that work, but now it's just like I don't know what the fuck you guys are doing over there.
Meh.
You know? Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think I have any more like TV shows, but those are probably like the three that I would immediately recommend to anyone. So yeah,
Well,
or
some great,
four with Marianne.
yeah, some great picks, some great picks. You know, thank you for sharing that. You know, we got Michael Anthony in the building. You know, 1/4 of Scream Kings and one half of People Under the Scares. You know, just got off, but I'm here. What's up, everybody? Thank you for showing some love. Mika haunting on Hill House is perfection. Flanagan is a masterful storyteller, top notch. Yes, yes. Now that I have you on here, because I feel like everybody just in the horror community, well, almost everybody like just gushes over Flanagan. So like, what's your list? Because I know he's got other films and
He's
shit, you know,
got
like Gerald's
so
Game.
much.
But like, as far as the Netflix series, you know, like,
Yeah.
what's your list? You know, of like, what's your ranking? You know, as far as the haunting series.
I mean, it's definitely like Haunting of Hill House first. Bly Manor, while it is excellent, it's just I'm impatient as shit. I will only enjoy a slow burn if it's in literature and involving a romance. If it's a
Okay.
slow burn in horror, I probably am going to have a bad time. Like,
Yeah.
if it takes you a while to warm up your audience to the ideas that you are putting up, I get bored. I'm just like, I came to get spooked. You only have like 8 episodes and they're all an hour long. Like, come on, let's go. But
And
I think for me, the thing that was like kind of missing in Blind Manor was just like characters that I truly cared about.
mm,
Because like I I didn't really dig the whole like gothic vibe. And I mean, like, put me on a cross if this is your fave. I'm so sorry for spouting all of
yes,
this hate.
it's up there, but
But
it's a safe place. It's a safe
but
place.
like, I mean, like, it's still, I'm not saying it's bad. Like, I do
Yeah,
enjoy it. It's just like I am probably not like the target audience.
gotcha.
And that's okay because I don't have to be to enjoy something.
Exactly, exactly. You know,
But yeah,
it's
I've seen almost, if not all of his movies. I've seen all, I think. Yeah. I mean, the only one I haven't seen is Doctor Sleep, but that's just because I don't like The Shining.
no, no,
Sorry,
no. The funny
sorry.
thing is, I I'm not gonna say that I don't like The Shining, but it's like kind of overrated to me. Like it's kind of up there. Like when they just canceled. Like I found out they canceled Shining Bell today or whatever on Stars, which was inspired,
Yeah,
by The Shining. But I enjoyed Shining Bell way more than I enjoyed The Shining. And I know that's controversy, but it is what it is. Everybody's taste is different. But yeah,
truly.
yeah. If you wasn't rocking with The Shining, I understand. I understand. You
Yeah,
know.
my college roommate, that was their favorite horror film, and I saw it maybe like 3 times, and I was just like, I don't, mm-mm, I'm okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. This was great. Thank you, though. Channel Zero. I always
Yes.
forget about that show.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
that
Kira
show.
Kira
That's
coming
another one
through.
that wrecks me. That
Yeah.
one. There's my favorite season for that one is Butcher's Block. That's
Mm-hmm.
the one where they follow those like two sisters, and one of them has like this psychic connection to this town, and there's like stairways in the forest that lead to nowhere, and it's so good.
Yes. Yes. It's definitely up there. Definitely up there. In love with horror says Max has some good shows. 30 coins. 30 coins is on my
30
list.
coins is on my
See?
30
See?
coins is there, but that's only because one of the actresses, sorry to like continue just digging deep every single
No, no,
time.
no problem.
there's this
We here.
there's an actress in 30 coins who is also in one of my favorite Spanish horror comedies called Witchin' and Bitchin', which if you haven't seen, it's so
I
funny.
have not. I've got to check it
The
out.
the title alone is so funny, but it basically follows this like group of like, I think it's like 3 or 4 men, and one of the 4 men is a taxi driver, and 3 of the 4 men are like just coming away from like a bank heist where they stole a lot of gold, and he also brought his son for some reason. And so like the whole premise just starts with them in the car chasing, basically evading the police.
Yes.
And through this, they stumble upon this like really rustic town. The son gets taken by witches. It's like all to sacrifice him in order to bring in this new witch and this new way of life. And there's drag queens. It's hilarious as shit. But yeah, she's in it. She's in it, and I wanted to watch it because of her. And as soon as I saw her, I was like, oh, well, that's going in the list. Like, that was immediate plus for me.
This sounds like chaotic goodness. I need this in my life. I need this.
There's so much in that movie that you could probably like make it its own video if you wanted to talk about
Wow.
like Spanish horror specifically. That one would have to have be in there.
Okay. Okay. Definitely gonna check it out. Definitely adding that to my list. Definitely adding that one. Kira says Penny Dreadful too. Yes, Penny Dreadful slept
Ooh,
on, heavily slept on.
yeah.
Um,
And Josh Hartnett's hot as hell in that series.
Josh Hartnett was the guy for a good, what was it, over a
He was,
decade.
yeah, he
He
was
was he
the
was the guy.
guy.
I know a lot of people talk about his haircut and what H2O or whatever, but
Oh
I'm like,
God.
he was the guy. There's always a guy every decade, but he was the guy.
Yeah.
So Yeah, we got, and we also got Mika. She says, "Can't forget from."
Oh, can't
No,
forget
cannot.
from.
From
Mm,
definitely up there. Last
props
season,
here.
the second season, I did a whole season breaking it down. Me and Taymon, and we had other guests in the horror community come on and just share our thoughts and confusion and questions about what the hell was going
Ooh.
on. So who knows? We might do it again for the next season. So we're gonna see how that go. We got Kira. She says Marianne was eerie, very scary. Yes, yes,
Yeah,
Marianne
very that.
was definitely out there. And then the outsider, Kira, the outsider. I've got to check
Isn't
that
that
one
that new
out.
Stephen King show?
You know
Right?
what?
I think that's his.
Yeah, it might be. I have not checked. See, it's so much shit out there to
Yeah.
watch. So
I
much
think that
shit.
one's also on Max. I think, pretty sure.
Okay, gotta definitely check that one out. Mika, she gave us her ranking. Number one, Haunting of Hill House. Number two, Gerald's Game, and Midnight Mass. Top three for Netflix for Flanagan.
Oh,
Ooh, and I feel like Midnight Mass is a slower burn than Haunting of Bly Manor.
yeah.
You know, but it had a great payoff
It had a
for me.
great,
Yeah,
yeah. Honestly, I was gagged. I was like,
yeah.
"Oh, Mr. Flanagan, you have done it again."
Yeah, it was they had a good time. They had a good time. Kira says, of course,
Ooh,
number one,
oh,
Haunting of
I
Hill
forgot.
House, Fall of House of Usher up there. Yeah, it was given a lot of love this year. Midnight Mass, Blind Manor, and Midnight Club. Okay. I've got
I
to
forgot
finish
he did the
Midnight Club.
Midnight Club.
Yeah. Yeah, I've definitely gotta check that one out. Mika says Blind Manor was such a beautiful story. Yeah, I cried. I honestly cried at the end when the door was she left the door open. I'm like, oh, it had me. Even the second time, it had me twice in a row.
No.
Definitely had me. Yeah, a lot of love for Fall of House of Usher. Gerald's Game, some love. And Cray Dre says that's Queer Demon. That's cool. I'm not the target audience. We need more people in the horror genre to think like that.
I
Yes,
agree
yes,
so fully. Just
yes,
because you are not the intended audience does not mean you get to hate on it
yes.
so forcefully.
Yes, yes. I agree. We got In Love with Horror. Gotta watch that before they scrub it. Shine
Yeah, they're
Bell.
getting rid of all of
Yes,
it.
yes. It was.
I'm
It was.
gonna
It's
start that
sad.
tonight.
It's sad, but it is what it is. Mika says The Shining is a favorite of mine. However, uh I would prefer Doctor Sleep. I think Doctor Sleep is a far superior, superb film. Yeah, yeah. You know what? I have not seen Doctor Sleep, but now that you say that, Mika, I'm gonna check that shit out because I've been sleeping on Doctor Sleep for a while, for a
Sleeping
for a
on
long
Dr.
while.
Sleep.
Yes, yes, definitely. I don't know, Doctor Sleep. Because I really, I guess because it was connected to The Shining and because of how I felt about The Shining, I was like, oh, I'll check it out. Eventually. But we'll see how that goes. Michael, he says Outsider was great. Okay, okay, definitely gotta check out Outsider. Kira says Outsider was good as well. You know, yes, Kira, I shed a tear with that door left open. That's so yes, yes. See, we here with it. We here with it. We also got the Michael brings up the Exorcist, the television show. We got
Oh my God, yes.
a lot of people that love that one.
Oh,
A lot of people that love that one. We got Mika. Can't wait to see what Flanagan does with the Amazon
yes.
contract. Yes, yes, most definitely. Cray Dre Mike Flanagan is one of the greats, most definitely. And in Love with Horror, Doctor Sleep had me feeling some type of way with that one scene with the kid messed up.
Oh,
Okay.
Jacob Tremblay. I know what they're talking about. Jacob Tremblay is the little kid in that movie, and I've only seen clips of it, but I was like, my fight or flight was activated.
Yeah,
Ooh,
yeah.
it's brutal.
Okay, well, shit. I gotta get my full review. Gotta get my full review, my full thoughts. I've just been in video game mode like the last ever since I got my PS5, I just been in video game mode. I need to get back in the movie mode and catch up on some of these things before the end of the year goes. You know, give some thoughts on some things before the end of the year, folks. Now, my next question for you would be well, which I'm probably sure I know the answer to this one, but who's your favorite horror villain? You
Oh
know.
God. Well, we already know it's Ghostface, but now I have to tell you which
Which, yeah, I'm like,
Ghostface.
which Ghostface?
Probably the one that I have the biggest crush on is also the one that I relate to the most, which is Mickey Altieri from Scream 2. Because Mickey was literally here for just the drama. He wanted to stir the pot. He wanted to. Also, I have a fan theory that Mickey was also super gay, because
Mm.
just the way he does like the big reveal at the end, I was just like, that's queer coded. Um, and the fact that he found a rich older woman to idolize because he was trying to become a serial killer, I was just like, this is gay. This is gay as shit. Um, but no, I love how dramatic he is, especially at the end with the reveal.
Yeah,
Like the thing where he goes like Billy's mother, and he does that like it's that like profile shot. Um, I love him so much. He is also just like it's played by Timothy Oliphant. He's just gorgeous the way like all the way. Um, but yeah, he's definitely like up there. Also, he did like probably like my favorite death in the franchise, which is the one where he kills the detective, that's like hanging onto the roof of the car, like with the
oh
pipe.
yeah,
that
yeah,
was that was probably like the most brutal death in the Scream series, like in that movie
yeah.
specifically, because like obviously like they always try and like one up each other. Like the first one, the most shocking one was Tatum. Second was that one, and the third, I don't really know what you would consider, because that
The
one's quite
explosion, because that was
goofy. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay. Okay, that's fair. Don't turn on the light, right? Or whatever it
yeah,
was. But yeah, and then in the fourth one, you had Olivia. Five. I don't know what you would consider five. For me, in six, I would consider it Annika, the one with the ladder.
oh yeah, that had
Yeah.
me like, and I went with a
Eesh.
group of people, and I was at the edge of my seat during that scene. You know,
Good.
that was a, I was like, you know, because I'm like, all right, it was Scream 6, let's go. Like I'm just here to support, you know, whoever is Ghostface, let's go. But I didn't expect to enjoy
Honestly,
it, you know, as much as I did, you know.
yeah. But yeah, no, Mickey, favorite Ghostface, because he's a drama queen. He's just like me.
Yeah.
He's just like me.
Well, that's a good pick. That's a good pick. You know, Mickey. We got Kira. She brings up the Hannibal TV series too. Yes,
Oh,
yes.
yes. That one just
Definite,
got put on Shutter, so I'll definitely have to watch that now.
definitely up there. Definitely up there. We got In Love with Horror. Hannibal is a chef's kiss. Yes, most definitely. Mads is perfection. Okay, see, I've gotta check out Hannibal. I've gotta check out Hannibal. Michael Myers, hands down, says Kara. Yes, yes. Michael Myers, always, always, forever. Justice for Hallie. Should have left Sydney right
Yes!
there.
Honestly, should have left Sydney and should have just kept going. But no, she had to stare and wait. Also,
Yes.
apparently, like, there was a confirmed rumor that, like, she was supposed to be, like, one of the killers.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, that doesn't align with my head canon because Hallie didn't have time for that.
Yeah.
Hallie was going to school. She was trying to become part of this sorority, and she was trying to get Sydney outside of her shell. She had so much on her plate that I was just like, killer. That doesn't align.
I mean, it's a possibility. I guess it would have been interesting in some ways, but I do think like it would have to work within the story. Like, don't just throw
Yeah,
some
don't just
wild shit
shoehorn
at
it.
us. Yeah, yeah. You know, make it right, make it right. You know, we got Kira. A round of applause for Mads Mikkelsen. Yes, yes.
A round of applause for him and his specific cheekbones. They're so like prominent. The Scream Six
a scream.
bodega scene.
Yeah, the one where he had the
Oh,
gun.
yeah, he got
Yeah.
like fucking stabbed so many times.
Hmm.
Oh my
Hmm.
gosh.
Yeah, it was it
Yeah,
was it
that
was a
one was
time. It was
it
definitely a
was a
time.
time.
Kira, please end the screen.
Honestly, okay, so as if Scream has zero fans, I'm dead. But like, no, like I also agree, Kira. I am very much there. It's just like a lot of people take this franchise for granted and they're really selfish with it. And one of my biggest like cons about this franchise and some of its fans is like they're expecting Nev Campbell to seriously be in every single movie when like how many movies is Nancy Thompson in A Nightmare on Elm Street? How many movies is Jamie Lee Curtis in Halloween? It's just like, why are we expecting this one singular woman to carry an entire franchise forever?
Yes.
And it's like, I get it, but also the new blood coming in was kind of neat. I did like that aspect, but unfortunately, just with things as they are, we
Yeah.
just won't get one. Or if we do, honestly, I probably don't even want to see it. I don't even want to know what they'll do with it. I've heard rumors that they're like rebooting it, and I was like, they already did
Yeah, I think they're going to be scrambling, especially like I'm hearing all these rumors. I'm trying to get Ned Campbell back, and I'm just
that.
like, it's too late. It's
It's
too
too
late.
late.
You know.
Like you didn't want to pay her, and then now you've got your other girl just gone, and it's just like, just. I told my friends this when the news that Melissa Barrera got fired. I was like, you know what? I am at peace with 6 Scream movies because it's an even number and the ending was actually pretty nice. Her
Yeah.
dropping the little mask on the floor, Demi Lovato's still alive. She's out there, or they're out there screaming on the mic. You know, it's a nice little ending. And personally, I don't want to see Scream 7. I don't think
Yeah.
we need it. I think we're good.
Yeah, I think it's definitely going to be interesting when it does release, just to see how just to see what the temperature is, especially with the community. I already know it's going to be a spectacle. It's definitely going to be a spectacle,
Yeah.
and a lot of think pieces. Now, my next question, would be do you have a favorite like final girl or final boy? That you would.
Oh, this changes a lot.
Yeah.
So typically, like my favorite final girl is probably Erin from Your Next because she just
Ooh.
subverts every expectation that every horror fan has ever put onto a final girl, and she just gives the performance of a lifetime.
Okay. Okay.
Final boy, probably Ash Williams.
That's a
He's
that's
he's just
everybody wants
like,
to be Ash.
and also like he's just he's like a lovable asshole.
He
Like
is.
he just like he toes the line of like offensive but also like cheeky, and I don't know, I just dig his energy and
Yeah.
his dedication to continue to staying alive. Like he literally loses his hand and his first thought is like, I can turn this into a weapon. So I have to commend his brains and his brawn. He's gorgeous in those movies.
Yes, yes. Bruce Campbell is definitely a legend. He's definitely a legend. Evil Dead, definitely one of those movies that turned me on to like the horror genre, extra heavy. Just ramped it up just from the effects and the story and just the pure fear, pure nightmare fuel
Mm-hmm.
that movie invokes. You know, uh,
Right.
we got Mika says Aaron is badass. My number one is Ripley.
Oh,
Yes,
yes.
yeah, yeah. I already know Mika love her some alien movies,
Hell
that
yeah.
franchise. We got Cray Dre, Aaron from Your Next was badass. Yes, yes. Karen says Aaron kicked ass. I'm your I'm
Exactly.
your next secret survivalist. Yes, yes. Definitely, definitely.
It
And
was just so fun.
it
Ellen
was.
Ripley. What
Listen,
an
Ellen,
icon.
facts, facts. Iconic, iconic. We got Craig Dre says Evil Dead 2. Yes, some Evil Dead 2 love. Michael, come on, Ripley. Yes, yes. Michael said you already know my final queen.
Final queen, not even final
Yeah,
girl. She's a queen.
yeah. It is what it is. It is what it is. You know, Michael goes up for the one and only, for the one and only. I think it's, what is it, Alice from uh Nightmare on Elm Street. What is that, four? Is it
Let's
is
say four, right?
Yeah, four. It's got to be four. If it's not, I'm a little toasted. I'm still a little toasted from earlier, but I'm thinking I'm thinking that it's four. Forgive me if it's not four, but I'm thinking that it's four. Um, and then we got Mika says favorite final guy or final boy, fool from People Under the
Ooh,
Stairs.
yes.
Yes,
I am so
yes,
excited to see what Monkey Paw Productions does with this movie. Like, because
yes,
the remake, I love the original. Like, don't get me wrong, but
yes.
like, I just want to see what it is like for like now times, and not just like Wes Craven behind the camera. Because like, yeah, there was a lot of love for it, but it's just like, full. Honestly, if I have a child, this is like totally hypothetical.
Yeah.
Probably never will happen. Um, but if I do, I want him to be like full.
Oh, that's it's, and then you put on the movie and you're like, this is who I was thinking about when I dreamt of you, and this
Aw,
is this is this is
yeah.
a sweet moment in horror, horror parenting, sweet moment.
Horror parenting.
Yes, yes. We got Michael. He says, yes, sir. Alice Tanisha Johnson. Damn, got a full
My
name. Middle
God.
middle in there from Dream
Oh,
Master.
government
Yes,
name. Who wants to
yes.
drop her social security number next?
We got Kira, Jim from 28 Days Later. Yes,
Ooh.
28 Days Later. Definitely top tier. And Jim was definitely kick ass in that one. Definitely kick ass. And then we got Mika. Yes, I can't wait to see what Peel does with the film as well. Yes, yes. I mean, ever since it was announced, I was like, oh, this is gonna be some
This
it's
is
gonna
gonna
be
be
some top tier
amazing.
shit. It's
Hell
gonna be
yeah.
some top tier shit. Now, I've got two more questions, to get through. I want to thank you for rocking out with me so far. It's been amazing energy, and thank you for, answering all my questions in the way that you have and giving me a little bit more insight into the mind of Queer Demon, So we're here. We're here. So the next question is, we are in the era of the metaverse, the meta universe and virtual reality and stuff like that. And as things evolve, we're going to get more opportunities and things like that for horror, in that space. So if I were to put on the goggles, the MetaQuest goggles or whichever one you decide to buy, and I step into Queer Demons world, what am I going to see as like paint the scene for me, like the
Oh
sky, the
God.
buildings, the people, paint the scene for me.
Well, there's probably shirtless men in leather doing tasks. Um and like when I say tasks, I mean like either like street cleaning, removing garbage, or like they work in bakeries, but they're shirtless and in leather. Um the sky is pink. You can hear probably like horns honking because nobody knows how to drive. My cat is there, but she is immortalized in this like 40-foot tall bronze statue
Wow.
somewhere in there.
Mm.
Um, you can hear the opening theme to Reanimator off in the distance.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
and everything is black and pink.
Okay. Okay. This is very interesting. I'm like, this place. So this place is going to be pretty much like free of traffic, because no one can drive, and it's going to be clean because you got all these people doing tasks,
Yes, all of the men
and the and
performing their
this
little tasks.
the sky is pink, but also you got a pink sky, but also you've got the reanimator music playing in the background, so it gives it a little bit of like mood, like with there's something afoot, something could happen, something could pop
Exactly.
off at any moment,
Thank
just
you for
because the
picking up
sky
on
is
that.
pink. Don't get it twisted.
Exactly.
Don't get it
Thank you
twisted.
so much for picking up on that. Because that's what I like. I like when horror is unexpected, where it's just like it's
Yeah.
a situation where you don't think horror has a place and then suddenly you're terrified for your life.
Yes.
I love
Yes.
that.
Most definitely. Most definitely. We got Kira. She says, loving your world, Queer Demon.
You have a
Love it.
free invite.
Yes. Yes. We got In Love with Horror. You had Christy at Pink Sky.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. We got Mika. The place has me intrigued. See, everybody's sold on this world. On this. See, I love his personalized and detailed. Yes. Yes. Everybody's sold on this world. So my last
You all get an
question,
invite.
yes, a free trial, a little free trial, Now my last question for you would be, if you could spend the day in the life, so 24 hours, of your favorite killer, demon, entity, human, non-human, thing, or whatever may have you, 24 hours, what or who would it be?
Probably the red-faced demon from Insidious.
Oh shit. I was
Sorry,
not
but like,
expecting that.
see, but like that's the thing is he's also like he loves drama, he loves a little tune, and he also has his little crafts. Like he's out there sharpening his knives, or I think it was his claws. You
Yeah.
know, he's got his theme song playing in the background, "Tiptoe Through the Tulips." He's color coordinated.
Yes.
He has
Yes.
his whole like art studio,
Yes.
where he performs his torturous deeds.
Yes.
And I don't know, there's just I've always wanted to see what life would be like with a forked tongue. So a 24-hour period where I just get to cause chaos and mayhem and rip a family apart. Yeah, okay. I'll do it.
Okay. Okay. Listen. I can't blame you. I can't blame you. And it's funny, like you mentioned, like him in his little art studio. I'm thinking, I'm like, he's probably got an
Yes.
Etsy shop. I'm sure he's got
Exactly,
an
where he
Etsy
sells
shop.
his little trinkets. Exactly.
Um,
Exactly.
I'm sure of it. I'm sure of it. We got Kira. She says, "Hollow Man to be invisible. What fun!" Yes, Hollow
Oh,
Man would definitely be a dope to be for 24 hours. And just to see the world. It would have to be on a nice day though. I wouldn't want to be
oh.
Hollow Man on a cold day.
Another option would probably be Jean Jacket from Nope. Just because
Ooh,
I loved the flowy design of like the ability to like transform.
yes,
And
yes.
also, I don't know. That's also a creature of chaos that I would enjoy being for 24 hours.
Because we
Hopefully, I
haven't.
would eat less balloons, but like,
Yes. It's so many questions, like, because it is that was that the final form of gene, like it's
exactly.
so many questions that we had, but I still like, I love that movie. I love that
And
movie.
also, like, sucking up an entire crowd to turn them into blood soup. I'm about
Yes.
it. I loved that. I loved that part so much.
Yes, yes, the blood soup was definitely a highlight, especially when Jean Jacket was hovering over the house, and
Exactly. Making it rain.
cinema, cinema,
Cinema. She's back.
cinema. Yes, yes, yes. And In Love with Horror says, I love your perspective regarding the red-faced demon. Yes,
Yes.
yes.
He's just a
Listen,
little troublemaker.
listen. It was exactly, Carrie. It was a good choice. It was a good choice. But thank you for chopping it up with me and answering all of my questions, and just letting us get to know you a little bit better, within the horror community. If you are not already following, LT, aka Queer Demon, their links are in the description below. Got some awesome videos on TikTok, and just catch catch them on Instagram, and every all that good stuff. X as well. I was going to say Twitter, but X as
Yeah,
well.
no.
Yeah. So I'm
I'm on
doing.
there
I'm
posting my little crafts, my
Yes.
things.
Listen. It's that's what it's about. That's what it's about. It's about getting yourself out there and mingling uh, safely and healthily, with the community, and just having a good time, having a good time. So that's what it's all about. But I want to thank everybody who's been in the chat, with us tonight, kicking it with us tonight. Kira and Mika, thank y'all for stopping by. Craig Dre, thank you for stopping by. Jaleesa, In Love with Horror, everybody, thank you for stopping by. Taymon, Tease, I know you was up in here earlier. Thank you for stopping by. Michael Anthony, thank you for stopping by. Everybody showing love. If I forgot you, I apologize. It was a lot of it was a fire conversation tonight. Fire conversation tonight, folks. So I really appreciated the good energy that everybody came with tonight. And this definitely won't be the last time that you see Queer Demon on the show. I'm definitely looking forward to having them back and chopping it up about the genre that we all love and adore. And as always, folks, it's going to be peace, love, and horror. And we out of this